So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today, especially so late. Um, for those who do not know me, I am Alexandra Gregory. I'm a professor at the Department of Agricultural Economics and Rural Sociology in the University of Puerto Rico at Maya West. Um, so Maya West is a land grant, and it's we have, like, where I work, my department is the only ag econ department of agricultural economics department in Puerto Rico. So I also, well, my appointment is in the agricultural extension service. um but I also teach classes, I do extension. I try to do research, or at least some research, if not with my students. So today I'm gonna present you um how to develop a business plan. So today is the first part, and then on Wednesday I'm gonna offer the second part of it. So basically, what we have been doing here in Puerto Rico, at least my colleagues and I that work extension and do outreach. So we have been making presentations about business planning, farm management, marketing, how to develop marketing plans, how to develop business plans. And we have developed a few um publications, and um our latest one is about how to develop a business plan, because um long story short is, like, we had like two publications in the same department from different professors. We actually wrote it at the same time, and since we didn't talk to each other, basically we had two publications in the same topic. So what we did is, like, now we took both publications that were similar, but it had a lot of differences. We combined it into one. I'm gonna present you the first part today. Publication is in Spanish, but there's plenty of publications in the US of how to develop a business plan. I'm just presenting what it's a business plan and how to develop it for, like, small farmers and ranchers, um, especially in the tropics. So what is a business plan? So a business plan is a document that presents the business policies, procedures, and results of a business, in and that includes agribusiness. So this document is essential for the development, especially for new businesses. And It's kind of like the first document financial institutions and investors will want from you. Um, so it's a document. Is used for financial purposes, but it should be your document so you can leave to your legacies, you know, how to manage your farm, or how you want them to manage a successful farm. And the business plan also teaches you, or makes you think and write, um and plan. So how are you gonna produce, and how are you gonna, plan your production, and how are you gonna sell, and who you're gonna sell to. But I'm just getting a little bit ahead of myself here. But basically, a business plan is a plan. It cannot be in your head. It has to be a written document. We are teaching here farmers and ranchers that you should have two business plans. One is the shorter version and the other one is the longer version. Like if you have like secret business ideas that you don't want people to copy. I mean, and if you're gonna give it to a financial, give them those parts. Like all secrets and trades, you don't give to anybody as part of your business plan. You can mention it, but you don't give, your secrets. So basically you should have two, like a shorter version just to give to like enough, it has enough information for financial institutions and investors. But basically you should have two documents. So who should write a business plan? So basically everybody, all businesses, it doesn't matter how big or small. Um, all entrepreneurs, including, agro entrepreneurs, have to, especially new ones, existing ones. If you don't have a business plan, you should start developing your business plan, because it will help you see the bigger picture of what you want with your business. So before writing a business plan, you want to develop a feasibility study, or you have to know if your production idea or the products that you're going to produce are feasible, economically feasible. So to make sure your business is successful and you can have profits. So before writing the business plan, you have to know this. If you don't know this, the feasibility of your production, you can definitely, the business plan is going to help you actually see if it's feasible. So um if you want to own a successful business, you have to create this business plan. So you can take your business idea into action. So I remember a entrepreneur from actually Vieques, very close to you guys. So he was like, I never knew what a business plan was, because basically he got a mentor when he was developing his business, and he had a mentor that helping say, no, you don't start producing anything. You have to have a business plan to see, how are you going to manage your business, and so it will be determine if it's successful. So it will take your idea, plan it, write it down, and take it into action. And this person was like, basically he didn't, I think he studied chemistry in college, nothing about business, but he understood that the business plan, he needed a business plan, so his business was gonna be successful. I wish I recorded him at the time, because if I tell you how good a business plan is, maybe you be like, yeah, it's a professor, they always say that. But when you have an entrepreneur and tell you that he was successful because he wrote a business plan, I mean, it's better if it comes from an entrepreneur than from, a professor like us. So the business plan helps you shape this idea. So The business plan is a document that is you have to keep updating it at least every year if you're an established um an enterprise or business. If not, if you're a new business, if your business is new, you have to keep updating all the time. Like so when should I write my business plan? So if you're a new business to finance the new business, um, the possibility arises to enter other agribusinesses or expand. If you want to expand on or enter other businesses, you might need to um, um, write a business plan, develop a business plan. If you want to produce another product, if you want to buy another farm, if you want to add value to your products, you should definitely should write and develop a business plan. Um, if there are changes in demand for ag products, I believe last week I told you the story about how when I first started on this job, I recommended ag extension agents to tell farmers to start um growing soursoups. And because I knew for a fact soursoup prices were gonna rise because um information about good information or positive information of them came out into the world that soursoups helps reduce cancer, the probability of getting cancer. So I knew for a fact, especially in Puerto Rico, since cancer is on the rise, um, I knew the prices were gonna go high because demand was gonna get higher. So um, if there are changes in demand and you want to produce and produce a farm product that has had changes in the demand, you should definitely write also a business plan. So also if changes in the cost of inputs, um so basically fertilizer goes up, seeds goes up, and water consumption, I mean water goes up in the cost of water. Uh, so you definitely should have a business plan, at least to help you estimate if you need to have changes in production. Also, plans are made to adopt technological innovations. If there's innovations in technology, uh, you should also write update your business plan. A technological innovation is not like necessarily like getting new tractors or getting robots or now everybody wants to have um robots in their facilities. But it's not necessarily like technology. Technological innovations can be the use of a new variety or a new race for animals. So basically, if somebody brings to your location a new variety of plantains that will give you like 100 plantains per plant. That's a change in that's an adoption of new technology. It's not necessarily getting technological devices. Um, Also a business plan um can be updated or should be updated or written or developed if you're financing and getting incentives, because they're probably going to be requested. I mean, here in Puerto Rico, The government usually asks for a business plan if you want to get like some sort of incentive. Not all of them, but there's like the larger the larger amount incentives, they do ask for a business plan. In addition, um like grants from the federal government and especially USDA, like the value added grant. Um, but the value added grant from rural development is basically, the application is basically a business plan. And you have to tell them how the grant money is gonna help you improve your operation, how will improve your numbers. That's basically what they want to know. And if you see the actual application for that grant, is all the parts are a business plan. It's, you know, divided into small parts. So part of the functions of a good administrator, as I said last week, are planning, implementation, control, adjust, and then you get in the adjust, you get, you know, you collect data and evaluate this data, and with that new information, you go and plan ahead. And basically, writing a business plan is fundamental in the planning stage of the administrator functions. So as part of a business management perspective, so you business and entrepreneurs, as I should say, entrepreneurs are constantly taking decisions and making decisions in processes, and they want to achieve business, you know, their business vision, mission, and goals. Um, so, and they want to do this, make the best decisions, uh, and by efficiently allocating all the factors of production. So basically, they combine all the production factors, and they want to combine it in the most efficient way. So basically, they take the land and the natural resources and natural capital, and the capital and the uh, labor, uh, combine it to produce, you know, goods and services, as we say in economics. So management is a continuous process. So basically, if you have a recipe, you know, producing something right now, um, and it's giving you profits, that doesn't mean tomorrow you're gonna get profits. So, you know, because the market changes all the time. There are market changes all the time. And we're gonna see that on Wednesday when we write the when I present the marketing plan. Also, we have to take into account economic conditions to, you know, either start or continue a business. And we, as the business managers, they always have to make decisions to make adjustments to the original plan, based on the information. So basically, a business plan is a tool for communication, not just for you. It's communication for investors, financial institutions. It can be for your family as well. A business plan is also a tool for management. So basically, let's say you're the owner and you're not around and something happened in your business. So basically, your employees have the business plan. They can take a look at the business plan and say, so if this happened, the business plan says that this is the course of action. So it's basically a tool, and it's also basically a planning tool as well. So as I said, I want to repeat again, it's a communication tool to attract financial capital, get loans, convince workers to agree to be hired. This one is mostly the new generations. They want to see the business plan of the operation, because they want to make sure they're in a good business and the business is going to be successful and they're not going to be without a job. So it the newer generation are more educated, and there some of them ask for to see the business plan before they get hired. um Attracts the strategic partners for the business, uh and the business plan demonstrate the economic potential to investors. Apply for programs and grants, government programs and grants. Attract customers, convince the owner of economic viability of a project, use it as a tool in the decision-making process, estimate the return of economic profit of a business initiative, establish in advance the steps to follow, and the implementation of an idea or a new idea. So basically, by preparing a business plan, we demonstrate whether the business has the potential to be successful. And that's the purpose of every business. It should be one in their mission, right? To be a successful business. In addition, preparing a business plan requires a realistic look to all phases of the business, allowing you to evaluate alternatives, if you have alternatives, before embarking on a new venture or producing a new product. So it is an administration tool. It helps track, monitor, and evaluate the business progress in the control. It should be used to establish timelines and milestones, access your progress, and compare your projections to actual achievements. So part of the business plan is preparing the records for the business. I'm a little bit ahead, but the last 2 weeks ago, if I should say, 2 weeks ago, I started with you saying, talking about the records of production and sales and input use and purchases for the farm. And I started with that because those are very, very important, and it should be included as part of the business plan, especially when you determine the unit cost or the break-even price. As I mentioned, the business plan is dynamic. It's a written document. It has to be written. And it's very dynamic, and you have to update it. It's every owner's decision to update it as often as they need or they want. But for new businesses or agribusinesses, uh, you should update constantly the business plan. So basically, this is a summary of why should I write a business, why you should write a business plan. So in addition, the business plan also allows me to think. If I'm a new business, uh allows me to think and contemplate, what will I produce, what goods and services will I produce, um who will I produce for, what are the potential customers. I have to think to, this is basic information before establishing a business. I should answer, questions I should answer. How will you produce? How will you obtain resources if you don't have land? If you're a farm, you want to establish a farm, how am I gonna obtain farmland? um how am I gonna obtain financial resources? um do I have enough money to start the operation? What type of legal organization I should start? So basically, all of these questions you need to ask before establishing a business. And these questions will also help you write the business plan, because they're part of it. So basically, the business plan helps you or organize it, and in a systematic way the business. You can consider your strengths and weaknesses, challenges and opportunities. You can decide which idea deserves additional consideration and effort. um I have had many people that comes and get technical assistance from me and my colleagues in the department and in extension. And they bring us many ideas, and then basically what we say, okay, well, you have great ideas. Maybe not all of them are, you're not gonna have profits with all of them, but if sometimes the business plan, you should write the business plan in stages. Basically, if you want to add value to a product, you should have like phase 2. If you're growing the product and you want to add value, basically I will put like the adding value process as a phase 2 for the operation. If you don't have the resources, if you have the resources, you're fine. But if you don't have them, then you have to uh divide your operation and your production efforts into stages. So with the business plan, you can also discover alternative and avoid the ones that are bad. You can organize all your business information into a single document. I mean, as I said before, like if let's say you're out of the island and you go on vacation and you left your employees and something happens and they don't know what to do and they cannot find you. So basically, if you leave a business plan with the written document of what they have to do, in case something goes wrong, they will know what to do. But with that also comes education. You have to tell them, hey, this is the business plan, this is why we do this, and what we're gonna do if this happens, we have to do this, these are the steps, what to do. So you basically have to also have a little bit of training to your employees to have be successful as well. So business plan saves you time, avoids errors. This is um the most important one. Avoids errors and setbacks in implementation. um it can help you monitor activities and control and adjust if something fails. So with all that said, a business plan is the document, but what are the parts of a business plan? Today, I'm gonna go through, if I have the time, and I think I have because I made the presentation a little bit longer than what I wanted, um, from A to F. But the parts of a business plan, first is a cover page, and I'm gonna explain what every one of them you have to include in each one of them. So cover page, uh, an executive summary, information of the business representative, the type of legal organization, and legal recognition of the business, physical location of the business, um, company description. You should include purpose, description of the business, the product or service you offered, um, uh, business management, marketing plan, financial plan, and supporting documents. So the first one is the cover page. So basically, if usually you should write your business plan and use a word processing program. But if you print it, you can just put it into a binder, or you can buy a um something you can file it and organize it. And the cover page is the first page, and basically it should include your logo, the name of the business, the year of the business plan, and when was like the year, like if you wrote that business plan in 2024, 2025, and right at the bottom when you last updated it. That's very important. When was last updated. um Name of the business representative. It can be a representative. The representative can be the owner, but it doesn't have to be the owner per se. Physical address of the business, phone number, email, web page, and social media, if you have. So that's simple. It's first page, just make it nice and pretty. You can add the logo, you can add pictures of your farm. Um, you can add like icons and images into it. But don't make it too, if you use images, don't use too many. So I recommend actually to make the cover page, Canva. It's a it's a website. It basically you become your own graphic artist, so you can make your own cover page. I mean, it gives you like hundreds of examples. It's free. There's some stuff that it's not free. There are images that are not free, but you can get you can always get free stuff, or you can upload like free images you get from the internet. Just make sure, if you get pictures from the internet, you they're free. So basically, if you Google, just look like, I usually Google free pictures, and it will give me like a lot of websites that have a lot of free pictures, and then you put the theme of the picture you want, and it will give it to you. So Canva is the program you can use to build develop your cover page. It can also help you develop a logo, although there's AI now for that, if you have no idea. But Canva, see, I'm gonna write the name of it and the website. Let me, I'm gonna post it in the chat. The website is canva.com. And basically you can make anything and everything. You can make uh flyers, um um flyers, cards, business cards, reports, certificates, posters, worksheets, um Instagram posting, videos, logos, etc. So YouTube thumbnails, whiteboards, Facebook posts, it will help you, you know, develop many things. So the second part of the business plan is the executive summary. So basically, the executive summary is the last thing you write after you're done with the business plan. So, but it's the second thing you put in, well, it's the first page basically of the business plan, because the cover page doesn't, it's not the first page. But the executive summary is the last thing you write. It should not be longer than 2 pages. If it's 1 page or 1.5 page is better. Do not write too much. So to cover the essentials of the um of the executive summary, I just want to make sure that the size of that letter is the same as all of them. Um, so okay. So basically, the essentials is a description of your product of service or service. This is the first thing you have to write in your executive summary. What do you produce? What is your business? Who are your customers? Perspective of on your company. Legal organization. Do you have um owners, you know, if you're a DBA, if you're a corporation, if you have partners, if you're a co-op, an association, a nonprofit, you know, you name it. You have to write what is your legal organization, who's the owner of the organization. If you're requesting financing, you must specify how much. So if you're want a loan of 100,000 of or 20,000 or 5,000, it doesn't matter the amount, you have to write how much you want and for what purpose. I want $5,000 to buy a chainsaw, let's say, or 5 chainsaws. So you have to write what's the purpose and how does that investment is gonna improve your operation. So will it help you with the profitability? But you need to be specific. How much income are you gonna generate? Will the income increase? uh it might not increase your income, but it will make you more efficient and, you know, make your job easier. I mean, so it doesn't have to bring you a lot of income. It can make your operation more efficient. Um, how much profit and how much will it increase? How much production will increase? If it will increase production, by how much? So I used to produce 1,000 plantains, and now I can produce with the money, with the loan and the equipment I'm getting, I can produce now 5,000. But you have to be very specific about it. Will the investment improve the financial ratios, and which one will it help? Solvency, liquidity ratios, and so, and by how much will it make my operation be vulnerable, or will my operation will have stronger financial ratios? That's what banks want to know, if your financial ratios improve. And USDA also wants to know this if you ask for a grant. Basically the USDA and the grants, in some grants, especially the value added, they want to know if your financial ratios will improve and which ones and by how much. Have to be very, very specific. So in this publication we wrote that basically, I believe it was last semester when we finished, and we is Dr. Gladys Gonzalez and Dr. Mirna Comas. We finished this publication on business plan. We added an example of an executive summary, because a lot of people ask us, how can I write the executive summary, because it's for them, it's very hard to write it in just 1 page or 1.5 page. So here's an example. So the executive summary should say this business plan outlines how, you have to place there the objectives of your agribusiness. Will increase the production. If it increases it, I don't know if it will increase. If it not, you just erase that part. Increase the production of, let's say, plantains and bananas. It will strengthen the marketing mix, maintain accurate records, and project the future growth of and it place the name of the farm or the name of the agribusiness. Um, uh, and it will continue. The name of the agribusiness is dedicated to producing and selling, and plantains and bananas. In addition, our agribusiness focuses on enhancing and adding value to the products we grow. And then you place your mission and mission statements in the letter. I mean, and then we're requesting, and you state the amount of the incentive. If it's an incentive, a loan, I want a loan of $5,000, $10,000 to buy or get equipment of this nature, a tractor, some let's say packaging, uh machinery, etc. And this basically this money or equipment will support crucial, and then you have to provide the explanation of why it's crucial for you to get that equipment. For example, in the request of production expansion, indicate the percentage. This is an example. Or quantity increase expected, and explain the overall impact on the business. So this business plan presents the strategies we will adopt to achieve these goals. I believe this line here is very important. You write it on your executive summary. Our agribusiness serves a wide range of clients, with the majority being grocery stores, you can say like farmer markets. You can sell directly to the customers. Also, you have to explain which one, if you'll sell to wholesalers, if you have detailers, etc. Moving forward, we aim to diversify our market by expanding sales through, and if you're increasing production, say by how are you gonna increase the production, or how are you gonna process or transforming those products to sell either to your clientele or directly to consumers. You have to specify the location of your operation, and where you can, the area that you want your products to reach also. If you sell to food trucks or restaurants, also you have to include that. And then at the end of the executive summary, you can state the challenges faced in recent years of your consumer. That's basically for us in Puerto Rico and you also, Irma and Maria, earthquakes. Well, you don't have earthquake. COVID-19 pandemic have demonstrated the importance of market uh, diversification to strengthen our resilience and remain competitive. We must differentiate our products and increase their value. And then you sign your letter, and that will be your executive summary. You can add a little bit more if you want, but not too much more. Basically that's one page. Um, what I just presented here, but you can edit to your convenience in your business plan. So the third part of the business plan is the information of the business representative. You can write this, you can actually place this in a table format, or you can write it like in a paragraph. But it's not just the business representative. You have to basically also write the same for all the business associates, or like if it's a corporation, you have to write the same information for all your the people in the corporation and the board of directors. So what information is needed? The name of the business representative, the job description and the duties, physical address of their residence, postal address, email, phone, level of education, certifications and trainings, knowledge in the business and agriculture. That this one, it might not be important, but it is like you have to demonstrate, especially in agriculture, that the person in charge knows about uh the production of agricultural either products or commodities. So if the business has a board of directors, you have to include the same information as I said, and especially their positions and also the year they were filling the position in the board of directors. Include all the information from the previous slide into each member of the board of directors. So the fourth part, am I being too fast? I mean, you can stop me if you have questions. I can't, I don't like to talk to myself here. So, so the fourth part of the business plan is the type of legal organization and the legal recognition of the business. So I don't know a lot about how to establish the a legal like a business, with all the legal documents from the government, from uh the US Virgin Islands. I'm assuming it's similar to ours, but I am not that sure. So basically, these are the most what I think are the most common. Um, so basically, you need to say the legal name of the business. If you bought the name in your in the State Department and you pay to for the name, you have to say that you have the legal um that you paid, your legal fees for the name. How is set up the legal organization, if it's a DBA, which is individual owner, corporation, partnerships, co-op, if it's a nonprofit. I mean, you have to say what's the legal organization, tenure of for the land, the tenure, the EIN number that you can get in the IRS. Um, if you have, especially if you have a DBA, I don't know, in the US Virgin Islands here, you don't have to have a EIN, but we recommend that, especially if you have employees, to get an EIN, because if not, as employees, your EIN will be, if you don't have an EIN, that you have to use your individual social security, and you don't want that to get mixed up with, you know, with the business. So even if you have a DBA, we recommend to get an EIN number. Um, corporation number, if you have made the, legally made the corporation, you have to have the number. Um, you have to specify, if you register in Foreign Service Agency, the number of, they gave you over there. Also, government permits and other legal documents you might need to do business in the US Virgin Islands. The fifth part of the business plan is um, the physical location of the business. This one is actually easier. Tenure. I mean, tenure is when if you own the land, you have to stay what type of the land you own. But if you rent, also included, because it's your physical location. The physical location or the business or the farm, or you can add coordinates, physical and location address, physical and local address also, um phone number, email, amount of land, and the amount of land, you want to specify also how is the land, soil type. Actually, I bet you can go to NRCS, and NRCS has maps with soil types. They have it for Puerto Rico. I'm assuming they have it also for the US Virgin Islands, and they have a map. You can locate your farm and get actually the soil type. Um, include pictures and maps of of the location. So I'm gonna give you a few examples of how to also make this. You can make them in a table form also. You don't have to write it in paragraphs, all of it. So the sixth part of a business plan is the company description. And here you have to write the purpose and description of the business or product you're producing, or if it's a service. And this consists of a detailed description of the business. You have to describe what you want to sell, what it does, and why would it benefit the customers, and what makes it special or unique. Um, um, I just want to say that I'm assuming it's the same over there in the US Virgin Islands. That like everybody that produce um any farm product, they basically say, because mine is better, mine is fresher, and yes, that will be the same for everybody. But what makes it unique? Do you use techniques to make the product last longer? Do you use good agricultural practices? Do you have certification, the FISMA certification? I mean, you have to describe all of these in the company description. Describe benefits of your products and services in the customer's perspective. Um, Basically, if you sell to grocery stores, I mean, the grocery store want basically your product to last as long as possible, because that means they will sell it. They won't sell it that quickly, so they kind of have some risk over there. So basically, if you have to describe all these benefits your products give to the to your customer. Key to success is understanding the customer, earning customer satisfaction. So I always like to say, sometimes by losing a little bit, you gain more customers. So, you know, you have to work out with your customers, basically. Describe the sector. Is it traditional, developing, or emerging? Um, Include a description of what distinguishes your business from others. I have farmers here in Puerto Rico, and they have FISMA certification, good agricultural practices, and one farmer here got a certification that it's actually used mostly in Europe. I mean, not even the US have that certification, but he actually applied for it in Europe, and he can ship now to Europe. So he's not doing it, but I mean, he's like, it's good to have it also, just in case. Um, so basically, plan with your company description, you have to plan type of business, what industry, what product will we make, and how will we produce. If you want to go from farm to table, you have to explain all those processes. How do you plan, how you grow, how you harvest. And if you take it to the table, I mean, you have a restaurant, you also have to state your, how you manage, from the farm, how you take it and process it in your restaurant. So to do this, you have, as an economist, I always like to start um justifying what I'm writing with data and statistics. So basically, if you're producing plantains, let's just say plantains, just go get historical data for plantains, and in your island, or in the at the national level, or even worldwide if you want, and start presenting, so your case basically. So you can say, hey, I want to produce plantains. The US Virgin Islands produce this many plantains per year. And we import this many plantains per year. So basically, there's space for growing and producing plantains, and that should be part of your business plan. Um, and I went ahead and I provided, you have to provide also data for the products in your location. Um, or if you have business, if you had the business before, you can provide your historical data, like average yields, how much, what's the amount, or how much is your yield, annually. Um, you also have to include information of the agribusiness to be established if it's new. You have to write your mission, your vision, your goals and objectives. This is also part of the strategic plan, but the mission presents the company's reason for being, the objective or purpose of which it was created, and the strategies to achieve it. It also answers the question, why does it exist and who does it serve? So your vision describes the company's aspiration. It can be formulated by answering the question, what would I like my company to look in this many years? It may be written in a few words or several sentences or multiple paragraphs, although keeping it concise is recommended. Like the mission, you don't want to have a mission longer than 2 lines, no longer than 3 lines. Vision, it can be a paragraph, but it shouldn't be longer than 5 lines, 6 lines. So the shorter the mission and vision, the better. And it has to be very, very concise.
Can you
Um,
go back to the mission?
oh, I'll give you
There's two.
examples and I help you how to cheat on it. So,
Oh, okay then.
so
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm going there. I figured you were gonna ask me that, and I took the advice of one of my colleagues. She's uh the one of the our newest professors. She just graduated from the PhD last semester. So but I'll let you know in the next slide, I think. So you also
Thank
have to write the strategic objectives and goals. Um, and then for these, planning is defined as the act of looking towards the future. So the strategy is the set of activities aimed to achieving an objective. So the strategic plan consists of the statements, guidelines, principles, and activities to be followed in order to accomplish the company's goals. So the plan can be developed for different time frames, short, medium, and long term. As I said, the long term I will put as phase 2. If you want to add value, you should always have it, start selling your products fresh, and then from there you can, upgrade to add value and process your products. Each objective should have strategies to reach it, along with clearly identified activities that will lead to its fulfillment. So basically, and I'm gonna cheat also, but this is, an example. So mission statements to be, our mission is to, you know, and then here you state the purpose of the business, why it exists, what we do, and for whom. And then the strategies to achieve our mission, you know, and your vision, in these many years, we envision our company as, in the end, you describe what you aspire as the company to become in the future. Um, and add a short paragraph with a vivid description of your desired future. Objectives, objective 1. Um, and then you have to actually, your objective 1, produce, let's say, produce the best quality plantains. Measure the how do you measure that? Um, so basically, I have to have statistics that can back up my objective and the strategies. So if I want to produce the best plantains, so strategies would be like, select the best seeds or the best varieties of plantains to produce, and then you continue writing activities. Oh, and strategies also, you can say, I will I will use good agricultural practices, and I will also have um use a walk-in cooler to help preserve or add a shelf life to my products, things like that. So basically, you can use AI to write your um mission and vision and objectives and strategies. You can use ChatGPT. Napkin is another one to draw diagrams and process of diagrams that I'm gonna show you later. I should actually separate this slide, but anyways, I'll do it before I posted it on the website. So you can use ChatGPT to either edit your business plan, get ideas to how to write mission, vision, strategies, and objectives. You have to be very specific of what you want them to write. A ChatGPT doesn't give you what you were expecting. You can say, hey, can you fix this? And it will basically fix. You can keep fixing it of what the result it gives you. So basically I went to ChatGPT as an experiment, and so I wrote to ChatGPT. I mean, there's a free I'm using the free version. Can you help me write the mission and vision for a beginning farmer with a small farm in the US Virgin Islands that produce plantain, yams, bananas, and cassava? So I wrote that. I was like, okay, let me see what it gives me. And it surprised me. So it said the mission statement, so it says our mission is to cultivate fresh, highly quality plantains, yam, bananas, and cassava using sustainable farming practices. If you use agroecological or organic practices, you should put it in there also. But ChatGPT used the word sustainable farming practices that respect the land and the community. We are committed to providing nutritious, locally grown food to the people of the US Virgin Islands while supporting food security and building a strong foundation for the future growth of our farm. Do you like? It actually surprised me. It's actually very,
Yeah,
yes.
it always surprises me.
It will take me 2-3 days to actually write these missions. I have to keep thinking and thinking, so it surprised me. This is what I like to use AI for a few things, and this should be one of them that you can benefit from this. So as vision statement, so our vision is to grow from a small beginning farm into recognized local supplier of staple crops in the Virgin Islands. In the coming years, we aim to expand production, introduce value-added products. I mean, if you don't like it, you can edit and erase what you don't like, if what you like, or if you get an idea, you can add it into the vision statement also. It sells value-added products and create opportunities to share our harvest directly with consumers through local markets, restaurants, and partnerships, contributing to a healthier, more resilient, and self-sustaining island community. So basically, and it actually tells me, like, ChatGPT asked me, would you like me to also write shorter, simplified version, like 1 or 2 sentences each that you can use to quick presentations or promotional material. So it also sometimes gives you options. The other day, I'm helping my nephew. He's starting a small business, and I was like, well, let's ask ChatGPT for names, business names ideas, and it actually gave us a lot of for the business, a lot of ideas, and we actually chose one from it. from the list. You can also use ChatGPT to do logos also. So let me see if I can do. I don't think I can do a logo because I right now, let's say small farm in the US Virgin Islands for that will grow plantains. I said plantains, bananas, yams, and let's see, because uh I think my internet is not working, let's say. So yeah, I hit the limit of image because I'm using the free version. So I have to wait 19 hours and 45 minutes before getting, making the logo. But I mean, you can get the idea. So you can make logos and you actually can edit the logo. If you don't like what the logo it makes you can tell it, you can say, oh, can you use this color in this letter? Can you use, if you don't like the color, can you use a black or yellow or green background on it? Can you change the image of the logo? And can you use a banana as the logo? You can, it will give you an idea, but you can also edit their idea and you just have to keep writing it and it will keep bringing you the idea. So ChatGPT, it's a very good tool, especially it will save you a lot of time. As I said, it will take me a few days just to write the mission and vision. So after you write your vision and vision, you can ask the ChatGPT to help you write the strategies and the goals also. So also in this part of the company description, you need to provide information of existing infrastructure in the business and provide an estimate of their value. Um, water systems that you may have in your location, irrigation system, energy sources, provide pictures of the infrastructure, or ideas. Let's say you have a building and you're not currently using it, be like, hey, I'm going to use this building to as the packaging space. So you can do that. So basically do the inventory of existing resources. All of this, I'm gonna go quickly because it's 6:17. I have 10 minutes. But basically you have to include all the land you have. Include the animal inventory, trees inventory, and equipment, and you have to do the pesto analysis. So before going to the tables, the pesto analysis is a framework or tools to analyze and monitor the microenvironmental factors that will impact your organization. So political aspects that will uh impact your organization. I don't know in the US Virgin Islands, but here in Puerto Rico, political changes, it can affect a business. So this was very important to us. I don't know over there. It's not just, it's basically changes in policies and views, um either for agriculture, immigration, those type of political policies. Economic policies, also the economic, how's the economic situation in the island? Is it better, or the consumers have higher incomes, lower incomes? Are their income rising, or they're here in Puerto Rico, the income of almost everybody have not rise in many, many years. Social environment, it's very important also. Crimes, you name it. Technological, if you can get technological changes, as I said, technological changes, it goes more for it also goes for changes in varieties, or animal race in production, in ag production. Environmental ethics. So basically the PESTO, it's political, economic, social, technological, legal, and oh, I forgot legal. Um Also, and environmental. So the legal, it's the laws and regulations that can affect, especially the new ones, or old ones that are abolished, that can affect your production. Um, so an inventory, you can make an inventory. I mean, I put it in tables, inventory of existing resources, land, the number of acres, tenure, if you own it, if you rent it, include the soil type, topography, if you have it, um, land dedicated to crops. So which crop or product variety, number of acres dedicated to that crop, plants or trees in bearing age, and production method, if it's organic, agroecological, traditional, land dedicated to raise farm animals, animal type and race. So I have let's say a Holstein cow, a cow that's Holstein. Number of acres. You can specify a little bit more here, in the age maybe. Use is to raise, or growing, and the production method, if any. So you can add these also into your business plan. So you want to know, say how much is your total land, cropland, land for animals, idle land, ecological areas, especially if NRCS pays an incentive for it, land infrastructure, sources of water. I forgot to mention over there, rent land that you have rented also. Buildings and structures in the inventory, warehouse description, you have to say how much is the space. It's 100 square meters, 200, 500, 11,000 square meters. Shaded structures, usually they're 50 by 20, I think. No, 50 by 100 is usually the shaded structures, at least here. Packaging area, processing area, fences, water holes, water pumping station, other infrastructure for animals, equipment, tractors, implements, tools, irrigation system. Trees is very important in the inventory. Trees have a value in the inventory, so you have to place. So how can I say? So I like to give this example. Like if you were gonna buy a farm, let's say with let's say a fruit, let's say oranges. So I'm gonna buy a farm and one has 1,003 oranges, trees of oranges, and then the other one, they're exactly the same, but one has 1,000 trees of oranges and the other one doesn't. Which one will you buy?
The one with 1,300.
Yes, because it has a value. Although people don't value it, you have to put it in the inventory. That's what I want to get to. You have to put it in the inventory because you're buying the one with the trees because you don't have to invest in planting those trees. So, thus it has a value, and if it has a value, it goes in the inventory.
Mm.
So, and animal inventory, you put your animal inventory. Strategies to acquire resources. And this is very important because how do I gonna get those resources I need? How am I gonna? I need a tractor. How am I gonna need it? Am I gonna buy it cash? Am I gonna use credit? I'm gonna get loan. A combination maybe of a loan and cash. Am I leasing it? Am I applying for incentives and subsidies? You have to write what you need and how do you plan to get it. Um, in the terms of labor, it's very important you include labor. The position of the person and the duties, education, salary, working period. This is, I mean, you can edit this and make it custom to your operation. And then in the pestle analysis, this is some general idea. So you have your type of risk, so political risk, your potential impact, and the action plan. How are you going to deal with that? So let's say there's a new regulation on how to handle plantains. So what's your action plan? So basically, the first thing would be like, hey, I will educate on the new regulation. I seek, orientation about it, read the law, the regulation, and then make your plan to follow the regulation. And then after making the plan of, let's see if you follow the regulation, also ask for technical assistance to actually see if your plan actually deals with the new regulation. So make sure, have somebody to check it, and make sure it deals with the regulation. So basically this is the PESTEL analysis, changes in the economy, socially and cultural, technological changes. Drones, do I need a drone? I mean, drones, um, do everybody now has to use a drone in the farm? Yes or no? I mean, what if there's a regulation that states, oh, everybody has to use a drone to fertilize their crops or give water to the animals. So consumer changes, this I can talk hours and hours on end on consumer changes. This is actually my specialty, consumer change and price analysis. But anyways, you can write in the pestle analysis, what is your action plan to deal with these risk factors in your, I mean, you can add more risk into the table as well. Production stages, in the production stages and work and itinerary, insert a diagram with the production process. And that's where Napkin, the other AI webpage you can use. I mean, you can just put the letters, what the words of what you want to be processed, and the AI will develop the diagram for you. So, and insert a diagram with the personnel and duties. Like example, this is simple. I did not make this in napkins. So example of production process. So you start plant breeding, planting, fertilizing, pesticide control, harvesting, and apply good like the gap practices, and package the product. This is a simple, example of production process. Um, and this is also a diagram for the personnel and duties of, of you can include into your um business plan. Always add diagrams. Diagrams speak more than paragraphs. Like if people see a lot of text, I mean they get bored, but I mean add diagrams because it will help you prove your business, provide more information about your business. So basically I have covered, these are the parts of business plan. Like on Wednesday I'm going to cover uh um I believe I have to start in marketing plan, financial plan, and the supporting documents. These two, this is why I left them for just one day, because supporting documents is very short. But these two is gonna take me quite some time to explain both of them. So I'm on time actually. I finished right on the dot at 6:30. Any questions or uh, comments?
Thank you very much for the information.
So yeah. So I'm gonna I promised the videos to be uploaded. I think my student uploaded them, but I need to check out which YouTube account she uploaded it. I know she told me she just did it, but I forgot to ask her which. I have 3 YouTube accounts for different projects, so I need to make sure which one. But I will let you know, and Glenda will send you the evaluation for the class today. But if you have any questions or comments.
No, no questions for me.
No questions. That was a very informative meeting. Thank you.
I was either too good or too bad. I don't know.
Hi, Alexandra.
It was very detailed.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this is what we try to do, very, short presentations and very detailed, the we
Alexandra,
time,
sorry.
short
The
and concise.
the evaluation, what you said, one, it I can't get access to that first one because it's telling me to sign into a Gmail.
Oh, Glenda will fix that. I know it's probably
Okay,
asking you to be a UPR. Yeah, we can fix that. She will fix
okay, no,
in a little bit. If not, by tomorrow, you will be able to use the same link, I think, hopefully. If not, she will send you the link.
okay.
Thank you. So Glenn,
So I did have a question. Before today, you've been meeting, explaining different aspects of the business plan, or is this the first of meetings?
so yes, basically 2 weeks ago, I gave 2 short presentations of an hour and a half on business records for farming. So basically I gave production and sales records, and then I the other ones were purchase, input purchase, and input use. those records, are very simple, but they do explain a lot. And I also gave during those presentations how to estimate the break-even price, average yield, average price. So we recorded it. You can look at them, and the information also. Let me go and give the website.
Mhm.
So this is the website. Let me post it in the chat. So basically, in that website I place in the chat, there's here on the top menu, it says English USVI, because I have everything in Spanish. So you can gonna see presentations. And then these are the two presentations I gave 2 weeks ago. They're actually in Spanish and English.
Okay.
And then there's an exercise I gave them, and the solution I posted also the solution. So basically, I gave them like some records, to estimate the record and estimate the average sales price, the break-even price, and the maximum quantity to be sold. I mean, you can just read the presentation, and basically it will help you solve this exercise problem I gave them last week. But I'm placing everything here.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna place it now, but tomorrow I will put the presentation of today. And in this area also, let me see. I should have, yeah. So I will place the videos, the YouTube account. It'll be here with the links, so you can look at all the presentations. Glenda, you can puedes parar de grabar ya.